All right, let's get you ready for this test. You've got one coming up on net worth, and we are going to make sure you absolutely ace it. Don't even worry. I'm going to break down everything you need to know step by step so you can walk into that exam feeling like a pro. So here's our game plan for this little study session. First, we'll figure out what your own stuff is worth. Then, we'll lock in the one simple formula you absolutely have to know. After that, we'll see how it works with a bigger, business-sized example. Then, time for a pop quiz to make sure you've got it, and we'll wrap it all up with a final study guide. Ready? Let's do this. Okay, first things first. We are not going to start with some complicated, boring business stuff. Nope, we're going to start with you, because this whole big idea of net worth is actually something you can figure out just by looking at the stuff in your own room. Just think about this for a second. Imagine you took everything you own, your phone, your video games, all your clothes, and sold it all for cash. And then you took that cash and paid back anyone you owed money to. What would be left over? That final number? That leftover amount? Well, that's basically the entire idea behind net worth. See how simple this really is? On the left, we've got all the stuff you own. Let's just say your clothes, games, phone, and books are all worth about 2,900 Rand. Then, on the right, we've got what you owe. And in this case, it's just that 120 Rand you borrowed from your brother for airtime. And the math? It's literally the easiest part. You just take the total value of what you own, that R2,900, and you subtract what you owe, that R120. And boom, what's left is your personal net worth, R2,780. See? You just did it. You calculated net worth. Okay, so you get the basic idea now. Let's make it official and learn the proper terms. Honestly, this next part, this is the most important thing you need to know for your test. It all boils down to one simple, powerful formula. So, first up, assets. That's the official fancy word for all that stuff you own. Your phone, your books, your games, those are your assets. For a business, it's their buildings or computers. Basically, if you own it and it's worth something, it's an asset. Simple as that. And the second word you gotta know is liabilities. This is the official term for everything you owe. You know that R120 you owe your brother? That's a liability. For a company, it might be a big bank loan. If you owe it, it's a liability. And this right here is the golden rule. This is it, the one formula you have to burn into your brain. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. I mean, think about it. What you own minus what you owe equals what you're really worth. Every single problem you're going to face can be solved with this right here. So we've seen how this works on a small scale, with your own stuff. But does that same simple formula work for a whole company with much, much bigger numbers? You bet it does. Let's take a look at a company called Gazani Electrical and put our golden rule to the test. Okay, so let's break down their finances. First, their assets, all the stuff they own. They've got a big investment worth 250,000 Rand. Then they have computers worth 50,000 and a vehicle also worth 50,000. Now for their liabilities, what they owe. They've got a bank loan for 100 grand and some vehicle financing for 25,000. And here's how the math plays out. All their assets together, that adds up to 350,000 Rand. And all their liabilities, that's 125,000. So we just plug it into our formula. Assets minus liabilities. R350,000 minus R125,000 gives Gazani Electrical a net worth of R225,000. It works every time. Okay, you've learned the terms, you've memorized the formula, you've seen it in action, you know what that means. It's time for a pop quiz. Don't stress, this is just to make sure you're feeling confident and ready for the real thing. For our first little challenge, we're going to solve for some missing numbers. This is a super common type of question on tests, so let's make sure we totally nail it. All right, take a look at this table. Each row is a different puzzle. See all those question marks? Sometimes the net worth is missing. Sometimes it's the assets or the liabilities. Now, using that one golden formula we learned, how would you figure out each missing piece? Go on, take a second, think about how you might need to flip that formula around. Okay, you ready for the secret? Here is the key to solving these kinds of problems every single time. It's just knowing that our one formula can be rearranged. Step one is the one we know by heart. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. But what if the asset is missing? Easy, that's step two. You just add the net worth and the liabilities together. And if a liability is the mystery number, that's step three. You just subtract the net worth from the assets. It's the same formula, just moved around. This is your secret weapon.
And here are the answers. So, how'd you do? For number 1, it was just a simple subtraction, right? For number 2, we had to add the liability and net worth to get that missing asset. And for number 4, we had to subtract the net worth from the assets to find the liability. Go ahead and check your work.
Awesome job on that. You've proved you can handle the formula. So for our final quiz question, let's kick it up a notch. We're going to build a full, professional statement of net worth from just a messy list of data.
So here's the situation for a company called Valhalla Hardware. We've just got this raw list of information. We've got their assets, like a vehicle and some buildings, and mixed in there are their liabilities, like a couple of different loans. It's all just kind of jumbled together. So the real test here isn't just about the math. It's about the organization. How do we take this chaotic list and turn it into a clean, professional document that anyone can understand in just a few seconds?
And this is how. You build a proper statement. You start by listing out every single asset one by one. And then you calculate the total. In this case, that's R$536,000. Next, you do the same thing for the liabilities, listing them out and getting a total of R$260,000. Then, for the grand finale, you apply our golden rule, total assets minus total liabilities, giving Valhalla Hardware a final net worth of R$276,000. That's how you do it like a pro.
And just like that, you made it through the quiz. You are ready for this. To wrap it all up, let's just do a super fast review of the most important points. This is your final study guide, the stuff you absolutely need to remember. Here we go. 1. Assets are what you own. 2. Liabilities are what you owe. 3. The golden rule, always and forever, is assets minus liabilities equals net worth. 4. A statement of net worth is just a nice, clean way to show your work. And 5. Don't forget, you can always rearrange that formula to find any missing number. That's it. That's the whole thing. Seriously, you have totally nailed this. You now know how to calculate the net worth for anyone or for any business. So I'll just leave you with this one